Well, this is really cool. I'm doing my first remote podcast, so the sound quality is probably going to be a little bit off or a little bit lagging. I'm in the freaking Smoky Mountains, and it's gorgeous up here. This is our 32nd show. We're in now 93 countries. That's really, when I hit 100, we're going to have a little celebration around Tampa. And I'm really excited about all the listeners, the great feedback I'm getting. People are reaching out to me at www.deanacres.com, sending their questions or ideas, different things they have going on. And it's always just a big help to me to see what our listeners want and what's really going on in the world. And this week I have a good story of one of my ninjas that reminded me of how we really need to think about customers. And that's why our episode today is really selling's like dating. When you look at how a client does business with people, you'll generally find it's relationships. And what's comical is people talk about product, features, benefits, and all that. Yet when you talk to customers, including the salespeople or the owners of companies that are selling the products, and you ask them how they make their choices, they don't sit there and look at features and benefits. I mean, I was in the copy machine business. And we had copy machine salesmen that would puke all over you about how many copies per minute, how to collate, disillate, all this crazy crap. My number one and number two salespeople went out and built relationships with office managers so that the office managers felt confident that if they ever had a copy machine problem, that they had somebody that would take care of it immediately and empathize with them. Because at the end of the day, the biggest thing is when you needed the copy, you needed it. You didn't need a bunch of rhetoric about how it would make 50 copies an hour and collate it and automatic bind it and all that stuff. At the end of the day, 99% of the copy machines were basically there for one reason, and that was to make a copy or to scan something. So that all being said, how is selling like dating? Well, if you were to go out on a first date, you're generally going to spend time at that point getting to know the person. If you're a good dater or somebody that has met somebody and you continue to date them all the way into marriage and a family and a lifetime together, you'll find that what the common denominator is, you built a relationship along the way with them in this process. So it's real important that we treat it just like dating. So what does that mean? Well, think about all the comedy in selling that we see every day. We see people making an appointment. The first thing they do is want to show you their brochure or their flip charts or their PowerPoint. They don't know anything about you. They don't know anything about your company other than what they maybe Googled. But generally, those kind of people don't even know that. And you're sitting there and then you make excuses. Well, it's not in our budget now, or our fiscal year ends in November of next year. We're a 2-year deal. It's our normal process takes 20 million years. All the doggy fetch the bone, get them out of there. And when they leave, they write up a call report saying customer didn't need, there's no necessary use right now, blah, blah, blah. And that's why we still work really close with the CV list we do, because the CV list helps take that dialogue out, because you know what the client could be worth because of their patterns or patterns that you found from other clients you do have. So this week, one of my ninjas goes out, gets an appointment with a major customer value client. I mean, I was jazzed. They got an appointment. So they go out, and after the appointment, I call them and say, how'd it go? How'd it go? And their words out of their mouth was, well, it went okay. However, they don't have anything in the budget right now. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to go through some layoffs. And times are tough, and he'll call me when he needs me, but he doesn't see it anywhere in the future. And I said, what? How did you get there? How in the world could that customer have done all that unless we were puking on them? And so the question would have been, in this particular client, they're a large CV, large customer value. We know without any question, they spend millions on what we do. They spend millions on what we do by accident. Now, they don't have an initiative. Our initiative would save them a lot of money. Real money, not hypothetical money, real money. And so they're talking about layoffs, and we didn't ask the questions. So what is your initiative for this, what we sell? And we didn't ask, how many of these do you think you have across your organization? Which we know is huge, and we know they have lots of what we sell. And what we sell is in the lighting profession, so we know they have what we sell. And if we find all that out, are we going to try to close them this huge CV on that first date, that first call? The answer is no. You're not going to walk in there and look at them and go, I have the solution. And the guy go, man, I am so happy I made an appointment with you. Can we sign a purchase order today? Ain't going to happen. It's just like dating. It is just like dating. You want to work on building the relationship. Both the relationship between the two of you, the relationship between organizations, the relationship in common values. Obviously, in dating, you're going to be talking to somebody and see if you have common values, things that if you both like biking and hiking, or one likes hiking and the other one says, I'd never go in the outdoors. What's the chances of that relationship fostering much? Unless you want the relationship, you say, hey, you know what? I don't really care about the outdoors either. Because you're acquiescing to the relationship that you want to establish with the people you want to be with, i.e. your customers. So on those first calls, what you're wanting to do is really find out what your customer's all about. And then you want to find out questions. You want to ask questions to find out where they are in your initiative. And if you're asking the right open-ended questions, they will tell you everything. And when they tell you everything, take it to the bank. Budget, because you already done a customer value. And if you remember in previous shows, the customer value is where you kind of establish what you think that client's worth. And by the way, when you have existing clients and you dissect these potential clients, you're going to be so close in what their value is to you in sales, it's scary. You don't even need to ask them. And so at the end of the day, this particular client's huge. We know we can budget many dates with this client. We need to do investigative, consultative type relationship building calls, because ultimately when this client needs us, who are they going to call? Are they going to go to the phone book, or are they going to call somebody that has now built a relationship? They have a benchmark of somebody they trust, somebody that has helped them establish the need over some period of time, and built this relationship both from a business professional side and also personally, to where there's a great deal of trust. And now this big decision, and oh, by in this client's case, we know they're worth millions in what we sell. Millions in what we sell. So is it a go get them today and close a deal? Not going to happen. Not in a million years. You won't even get a conciliatory order out of them because it's that big. Building the relationship and having the patience, just like in dating, you will ultimately have the prize, which is the relationship and the love and the ongoing business. So for all my folks out there, I'm going to ask you, would you try to think through, when you look at your customer value, how much time you could spend and devote for this client to become your client, not a customer, your client, and what that would be worth to you? And I would suggest when you do that, you'll find you won't be puking on them in LinkedIn, going on saying, can I bring you a quote and come by and talk to you about your blah, 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 blah. Those people, who gets turned on by that? Nobody. When you're building the relationship, I did a thing recently. I send books out all the time. I sent a book to a CEO. He sent me a voicemail back and said, hey, thank you for the book. I've always wanted to read that book, and, I really appreciate it. And I was just thinking about you. Can we get together? Now, question. What do you think the odds are that individual CEO was sitting around just thinking about Mr. Dean? Try slim to none and slim left town. He wasn't just thinking about me at all. What this was a stimulus, a unique touch, part of the relationship building that caused him to go, wow, I need to get with Dean. and subsequently we've gotten together, and now we have a client ongoing building relationship. So at the end of the day, your takeaway in episode 31 is treat sales like dating. Treat sales like dating. Take time to build the relationship. Take time to learn their needs. And once you learn their needs and once you build the relationship, I promise you infinitely great results in your quest to be a superstar salesperson and a ninja salesperson. So until we talk again, I'm up here in the Smoky Mountains. It's gorgeous up here. We were anticipating the hurricane, and we send our thoughts out to all the folks on the coast that have been impacted by the hurricane. It was supposed to bend up in here. We haven't seen it yet. Maybe get a little rain tomorrow, but it's been a gorgeous trip. And I'll talk to you guys next week. And until we get together, think about it. Selling is like dating. Selling is like dating. Build the relationship, and all good things will happen. Have a great week.